Good evening and welcome to some Tuesday night basketball action between Guernsey County rivals Cambridge and the host Meadowbrook Colts. We've got ourselves a big game between two now non-conference rivals as for the second straight year. Meadowbrook is in the Muskegon Valley League as Cambridge recently joined the Buckeye 8 League. I'm Darren McCullough. With me is my main man, Heath Dawson. We got Caden Whaley running the camera for us here. Before we get started, we got a new sponsor for the season. Thank you to 821 Carryout, who has just signed on. And, of course, 821 Carryout's right there at the corner of 821 and Country Club Road. A nice establishment for the local kids to get drinks or snacks after or before school, as they're open at 5:30 in the morning Monday through Friday and 8 o'clock on Saturday and Sundays. Now to the game, Heath. We've got two local rivalries. We were kind of talking off air before. This has really been a one-sided for the majority of their 117 games, but lately the Colts have turned the tide as they've been winning a lot lately in this rivalry.
Right, and we were talking about that. I can remember way back in the day, for those of you out there who's been a part of this rivalry for a long time, I can remember when Danny Weekly was coaching here at Meadowbrook, and they had some big-time failures against Gene Ford's Cats, and I remember them winning a game 65-61 back when Brandon Todd was at Cambridge, and man, this place erupted. It had been a long time coming, but over the years, yes, Cambridge had dominated this series, but here in the last, decade, Meadowbrook has really been a lot tougher opponent for Cambridge. You look back to a year ago, Darren, 3 wins for Meadowbrook in 3 tries last year. So, yes, Meadowbrook has been on pretty much in the history of this program. They've been on an unprecedented run. I mean, you look back to the 80s, Meadowbrook had a pretty good, solid team, had a couple big runs, but what this basketball program has accomplished over the last few years has been nothing short of impressive, and that includes, beating the arch rival just 10 minutes basically away from us here.
Yeah, and you mentioned Gene Ford. There's some sprinkles of the late great coach Gene Ford on both benches as first-year head coach at Cambridge, Kyle Purtisette, dug into the Coach Ford pool by bringing back legendary coaches P.A. Paul Eric and Dave Holge Holdren, while Mike Andrews is on the staff at Meadowbrook. And rumor was he was close to going back to Cambridge again this year, but Meadowbrook offered him maybe that extra year in the deal and got him to sign the extension. So definitely cool to see kind of the new and the old coming together.
And I'll tell you what, the crowd here tonight is really good, a pretty well packed house. But I'll tell you what, there was nothing like those days when P.A. and Mike Andrews and Holge were Gene's assistant at the old Cats Lair. If you ever got to see a game at the old Lair there, now the YMCA, of course, gymnasium, but that was just a special environment. And, I don't know that there will ever be an environment topped like that old Cats Lair.
And the boss man, Caleb Graham, just texted me, our viewers voted Meadowbrook to win 89% to 11% in this matchup. So Colts heavily favored here.
Hopefully nobody down on the Cambridge bench is listening to the broadcast to give them fuel for the fire. So,
well, Cambridge won the prelim, so to speak, as they defeated the Meadowbrook 63-47 in the JV contest. Looking down here, you got Caleb Bond's going to be the main man for this Cambridge offense, averaging around 14 points per game. We got Cole Parsons as a great three-point shooter, and then Caden Morris started to round into basketball shape as he's averaging about 9 points per game in his last 4 games. So we'll pause for the Star Spangled Banner and starting lineups. And we're ready for some basketball action here at the cage. Starting for the Colts, Drew Webster, Romeo Dorsey, Easton Eibel, Jake Singleton, and Josh Hupp. For the Bobcats, Davian Jeffrey, Caleb Bond, Caden Moore, Cole Parsons, and Parker Long as the Colts win the tip. So Jake Singleton with it. Cambridge comes out man-to-man. Over to Eibel. Looks to slip to Webster, up, no good. Dorsey with the rebound, loses it. Hupp with a fresh haircut and all, recovers it. Up inside to Dorsey.
Nice move, yeah. Nice move by Dorsey there. I was just talking about that today to Chris Miles, the Meadowbrook girls coach, and we're talking about how much better Dorsey has shown down in the post this year, so nice move.
Jeffrey with it. Swings it over to Long. Long back to Bond. Meadowbrook Cambridge pretty typical, slows it down. Plays a strong half court as Jake Sinkler with the steal. Lays it up and in, and a story to watch with that bucket. Jake pulls within 9 points of older brother Trey, as he was 11 points behind him coming into this game.
Meadowbrook showing a little pressure here too.
Parsons up top to Moore. So the Jake Singleton watch will be on tonight for sure, as he was entering 11 points behind his brother and 22 points behind John Molesky Ferguson for 6th all-time.
You start reaching John, you know you're getting into elite company, because John was very accomplished back in the mid-90s here.
And I'm going to say he's not going to get in the top 5 tonight. If he does, we're going to have a record night from him, as he's 85 points behind the legendary Chris Wright, as that jumper's up no good from Moore, rebounded by Dorsey.
Got it out to Eibel, and Dorsey with the follow-through. So good job of Dorsey down low. That's 2 offensive boards already.
Cambridge beats the press, almost stolen. Bond over to Parsons. Parsons from downtown, short. Rebounded by Jake. He's pushing it coast to coast. He's going to be called for the travel, though.
He had a nice tie up there. I think Bond got a hand on the ball, and Jake couldn't get rid of it, so travel call there. So turnover apiece early here in the first 2 minutes of the game. Right now, I would say, though, if you would look at things early, I think the pace early on is favoring Meadowbrook.
That one's deflected.
Good job by Bond there, or Moore, I should say, to
Throw
it off a Hupp.
Yeah, the quarterback guarding the quarterback there.
Right. And 2 good ones at that.
Hupp probably feeling a little lighter on his feet as he.
He's got 12 pounds of hair cut off of him locks.
Bond up and good.
Nice take by Bond.
There's one thing that Caleb Bond's good at, is driving to the
Yeah,
hoop
and I
and
tell you
finishing
what,
on those circus shots.
Watching him last year, I was impressed with how much improvement he had shown last season. And, you know, this year Cambridge is going to be relying on him a lot.
Jake's shot no good. Rebounded by Bond. And it's stolen by Eibel, but Bond's going to get it right back, and now we've got a jump ball, but Jeffrey comes down with it. Finds Parsons off glass, no good. Rebounded by Webster.
Fast and furious action there.
So definitely the pace of play is favoring the Colts
Right.
early on. Cambridge wants to slow it down and get into a half-court game, but the Colts leading 4-2 here early.
Yeah, and as we know, Meadowbrook lately has been sizzling from the field, but so far just 2 of 8 in the early outset here.
Dorsey stolen by Bond.
Real advised pass.
And Moore can't get the shot to fall. It's going to be a foul on Webster. So Caden Moore's going to be at the line shooting 2.
I'll tell you what, you know, we talk about the pace here early on. Cambridge not blinking at this pace, so they've been running right with Meadowbrook early on here. And that's, you know, 3 turnovers already that they've been able to force on Meadowbrook. But Moore misses the first of a pair here at the line. Get ready to eye the second one up here. misses that one, and Eibel comes up with the rebound. So
Eibel over to Singleton.
excuse you, Train.
Yeah.
Thought maybe I was going to have to take over play-by-play for a second.
Up, shot fake looking to drive out to Eibel, pulling the three up and good.
Nice. Silky smooth touch from Eibel there.
7-2 Colts halfway through the opening frame. Bond up top with it.
Oh, Webster was looking to jump that passing lane for the easy
Parsons
steal.
Corner for more. Moore driving baseline, pulls up and no good. Singleton with the rebound.
Good job by Dorsey to keep that ball alive.
Passes it down to Eibel, another three up and good.
We'll get our first time out of the game with the Colts up 10-2.
When Eibel's hitting the outside shots, it can make this Meadowbrook
Yeah.
team completely different.
Yeah, and I'd say what, both of those shots, man, silky smooth from Eibel. So
It's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll thank our sponsors, 821 Carryout, Graham Excavating, the Stemmer family, and the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, the RHEA. So we appreciate them sponsoring us.
Always good to get new sponsors.
The 821 Carryout, the former Cutoff, as it was known back in the day. So looking down at this game.
Go ahead, Train.
Looking in at this game, Cambridge has got a busy week after tonight. They host John Glenn in the Catfish Challenge on Thursday night, a big tournament that they've brought back, and it's going to be playing all levels from third grade all the way up to varsity at the Cambridge City School. So it should be an interesting all-day Thursday.
And, we're getting, as always, we're getting quality feedback from our production trailer from Kirby Graham out there. So hopefully, my mic was a little loud, so hopefully that's a little bit better for you, those of you out there listening. So thank you, Kerbo, from the production trailer. And Cambridge just their third turnover of the game now.
Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Pulaski. And Pulaski hasn't really played a whole bunch. Finally getting an opportunity here tonight. That shot blocked.
Blocked by
Eibel.
Blocked by Eibel. Sent Moore down to the floor. Cambridge struggling here offensively in the early going of this game. Just having trouble getting some looks. Other than Moore's little drive, they haven't seen much.
This has kind of been the MO from Cambridge, a few games I've seen them play this year in the half-court offense. They kind of have some difficulty, but when they get it going, it seems like they can go off as Jeffrey misses that shot, rebounded by Singleton. Singleton over to Webster. Trayvon Mail just checked in, swings it over to Eibel.
First time.
Dorsey has a look in the drive, puts a shot up, no good, blocked by Pulaski. Pulaski comes down with the board.
I'll tell you what, Dorsey's been active down there, but again, he can't buy any buckets down low tonight, so Cambridge avoiding some early bullets here. There's Dorsey with a nice steal.
And then lost.
Well, no, he didn't.
No.
So he does keep the
Not
steal.
so fast as Singleton's able to retrieve it. And we're going to have a foul here as Hub's going to re-enter, and Dane Singleton going to come in for the Colts with 1:45 to go in the opening quarter, with the Colts leading 10-2. Singleton looking, kicks it back out to Hub, over to Eibel.
And Singleton had that coast-to-coast basket off the steal. He's been kind of quiet offensively here in this opening frame.
You can usually keep him quiet for maybe
I
a
was
quarter,
getting-
but
I
it's
was
hard to
ju-
do it for
I
4
was just
quarters.
getting ready to say the same thing. We know that he can score in bunches. It's been the Eibel show, though, early, and there's
And
another.
Eibel-
Oh, I thought he had another one.
No good. Rebounded by Bond. Bond driving down the
Yeah,
lane,
nice
puts it
move
high off the
there.
glass. No good. Rebounded by Dane Singleton. Jake over to Hupp, left wing. Back up top to
51
Jake.
ticks to go. See if Meadowbrook plays for the last, but no.
Jake is going to be called for the travel.
So now each team with 4 turnovers here in the opening frame.
Ten to 2, 47 seconds left.
Right now, if you're Cambridge, you need a bucket here to close this quarter in the worst way.
And we're going to have a foul on.
Hupp, maybe. Yeah, Hupp.
Yep.
Be his first.
Inbounds to Moore. So Stansberry is checked in for Cambridge as Bond's going to put the shot up and in. So Bond with all 4 points for Cambridge as they trail 10-4, under 30 seconds to go. Mayo hands it off to Eibel. Eibel looking to drive middle, kicks it out to Hupp. Singleton over to Eibel, 13 seconds. Mayo has it now. Over to Singleton, wing 3 up and good. Mayo with the assist. Bond's going to lift a 3/4 court shot and it's short. And Meadowbrook's going to lead after the end of the first quarter, 13-4 here on the KGP network. We'll take a break and be back with second quarter action. Thirteen to 4, start of the second quarter action here. Meadowbrook on top. Thank our sponsors, 821 Carry Out, Graham Excavating, the Stemmer family, and the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, the RHEA. So the 5 out there for the Colts was Webster, Mayo, Hupp, Jake Singleton, and Romeo Dorsey. While the 5 for Cambridge is Jeffrey, Bond, Moore, Stansberry, and Pulaski. Cambridge has it here. Passes to the high post, backdoor look to Stansberry, up and good. Jeffrey with the pass, Stansberry with the lay-in. So good, good play drawn up by the Bobcats to start the second quarter. Stansberry is going to be at the line shooting the free throw. And he can't get it to fall as Hupp's going to get the rebound.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Hupp. He picked up his second foul there.
And Hupp's going to quickly lift a 3 short, no good, but Mayo's going to have the rebound. And we're going to have a foul, 3-second violation.
Something you don't see very often.
Uh-uh.
So Meadowbrook now another turnover. That's 5 for the game.
So Meadowbrook going to apply a little full court pressure now. Bond into the hands of Dorsey. Mayo's going to come down with it. So both teams now with 5 turnovers. A great save by Singleton. And I noticed that little ooh from you, Heath. It might have been a...
yeah, that's what I thought. I think Meadowbrook might have kept the ball. It should have been going the opposite way, but hey, the host will take it.
Webster's going to lift a 3 short. And Jeffrey's going to have the board.
Very rare. We don't call Webster's name very often so far, but he's kind of been a little bit quiet tonight. Not usual to see that, as
Comes
he's
a
the
double.
resident Meadowbrook Dennis Rodman here.
Minus the funky colors and the piercings and tattoos.
Yes. I'll tell you what.
And Bond looking to drive, draws a foul. Can't get it to fall, but he's going to the line shooting too. Now the real question is, who's it on?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's,
Looks like it's going to
Dorsey's
be on
first.
Dorsey. Cambridge 0 for 3 at the line here so far, so Bond looking to put their first free throw down, and he does.
Tell you what, Bond's keeping Cambridge in this so far.
And the second free throw is up and good. So in 8 minutes action in the first quarter, Cambridge scored 4 points. In a minute 8 action here in the second quarter, they've matched that total with another 4. Mayo over to Hupp. Up top to Singleton. Singleton attacking middle. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Jeffrey. So Jeffrey doing a good job on the glass.
Meadowbrook totally left Pulaski down alone on the baseline, and they just missed him.
Stansberry with it. Dribbling around. Almost loses it. Looking for a teammate. Gets it to Bond. Sets a ball screen. Bond attacking middle. Pulls inside the free throw line, up and good.
We might be seeing a timeout here shortly from Meadowbrook if they can't end this drought.
So Bond leading all scorers with 8 points. 8 of the 10 points for Cambridge. Swinging around. Singleton has it. Driving baselines Hupp, passes it over to Mayo. Doesn't have anything, dribbles it out. Post entry to Dorsey. Look and spin. Off the glass, up and good.
Dorsey's second bucket.
And that's going to get a timeout from, I believe it was Cambridge. Or no, Meadowbrook's going to call the timeout.
Yes.
So 15-10 Meadowbrook. 5:33 to go in the first half. We'll thank our sponsors, Graham Excavating, Stemmer Family, the RHEA, the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, and of course, the 821 Carryout, new sponsor that just jumped on board. If you'd like to sponsor any of our Caleb Graham Productions live streams, feel more than happy to get a hold of Caleb via Facebook.
Yes, we'd like a tour bus.
Tour bus, our own jet airplane, maybe a little pregame catering meal, some filet mignon.
KGP jumpsuits.
If Buckeye Trailhead football coach Donnie Kearns is listening, he would love the filet mignon comment. As Jeffrey's going to get the rebound and put it back for the Bobcats. So Jeffrey very active on the boards here. 15-12. 5-10 and counting. Hupp looking to drive. Dumps it off.
Great.
Roller. Dorsey
Great
up
feed.
and good. Draws the foul. And he's shooting the free throw.
Great job by Hupp there. Penetrate, get the defense to come up, and dump it right off to Dorsey. I think there's a foul call on Stansberry there.
Yep, fouls on Stansberry. Caleb Campbell has checked in for Caden Moore. As Dorsey splashes the free throw. So 7 points for Dorsey, leading the Colts. Cambridge done a good job moving the ball off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Singleton. He's pushing it and up, no good. Dorsey with the rebound. And stolen, it looks like Campbell's going to come down with it. Cambridge taking their time. Jeffrey over to Stansberry. To Caleb Campbell. Now Bond has it. Going to a little 1-4 low as Pulaski's coming up for the screen. Now Jeffrey's driving, and he's going to be to the line shooting too.
Nice job by Jeffrey on that change of direction. Got Singleton to lean a little bit, and then had him where he wanted him.
Jeffrey doing a good job here in the first almost 12 minutes of just being
he's been a valuable asset
dog.
off that bench. He's been valuable this second quarter. 3 rebounds and assists, and now a bucket, and looking to get a pair of free throws here. So
hits the first, misses the second, up with the rebound.
I'll tell you what, Davion, he's a great kid too.
And Eibel's going to lose it. And
oh my goodness, great job by Bond there.
That's why he's in his 3rd year as a varsity player. That's a heads-up play by Caleb Bond.
You know, and it seems like he's been a 10-year player. I feel like he's used his red shirt, his medical red shirt, and his grad assistant transfer. I mean, it seems like he's been here forever, but he is a good player.
Parsons over to Campbell. Oh, Campbell throws it away.
Yeah, Dorsey got a hand on it, but Hupp comes up with the steal. So
now baseline drive from Singleton, up and good. So make him now 4 points away from Big Brother. Pulaski to Parsons, no good. Rebounded by Webster. Webster was there just enough to misdirect it.
And Cambridge can ill afford to miss easy buckets like that.
And that's going to be stolen by Bond.
Yeah, Bond again.
I believe that's 8th turnover of the game
that's
for
what
Meadowbrook.
Yeah,
so
8.
Kind of uncharacteristic.
Right back, yeah. That's 7 for Cambridge. So both teams struggling giving the ball away. It has been a little bit sloppy tonight. And Jimmy gives it a nice little boot there.
We're not playing soccer here. In some gyms, that might get you kicked down the gym doing that.
Couple of the fans down in the front row heckling. He just laughing.
So Jake Singleton with it. Over to Webster. Back to Jake Singleton, getting the ball screen from Webster. Good switch. Bond guarding him. Back to Webster, almost lost. Gets control of it. And Hupp looking at the elbow, doesn't have it. Back down to Singleton. Singleton's lifting the 3, no good. Rebound Dane Singleton, and we're going to have a foul.
Looks like that's
going to be
second
on Parker Long.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I hope that wasn't on Jeffrey because that was a clean block, but must have got him with the body.
The Cambridge student section comes alive as Dane Singleton shoots his first. He misses it.
And he's off on the second as.
And Davion's going to get it, and they're going to call Trayvon over the back.
And that's probably a good thing for Cambridge because they had 2 guys fighting for the rebound there. As it looks like we had another new player, Drew Yannico, coming in for Cambridge. Cambridge is going more to their bench than they have. I assume there's some guys that are healthy and able to play. I know Pulaski said earlier hasn't played much this year. And
oh, nice scoop. Scooping.
So,
up and over and in and dipsy-do and all around. And, hey.
He's a master at the circus shot. Definitely a person you don't want to play in horse. As that shot's no good. And Jake hits the 3. So 1 point away from tying Big Brother. It was Jake Singleton knocking down the 3 as Bond bringing it up. Tosses it over to Moore. Back to Bond. 23-15. 1:45 to go in the first half. Bond, middle, kicks it down to Moore, excuse me. Yannico with it. Back up top to Moore. And we're going to have a timeout, Cambridge. So Cambridge is going to take I never saw if it was a 30 or full. Everybody's standing, so it's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll take a 30-second timeout as well with the Colts on top 23-15. So welcome back. Meadowbrook on top 23-15, and Mr. Waitler finally stole one of the sound makers from the Cambridge side.
Yeah, as I said at the start of the game, I heard it, and I was surprised that they allowed that in there. In here, usually they don't allow them. I don't know what those things are called, but they have them at World Cup matches where they blow them horns.
And I think there's still another one out there.
Yeah,
I hear it every once in a while.
I can too, and I'm trying to see who. Yeah, and Wheeler, it's going to drive Wheeler nuts, and he's looking over there trying to figure it out.
Pulaski with it over to Caden Moore. Fakes the three, hands it off to Bond. Bond over to Long. Long driving baseline.
Good job
caught
by
off by Mayo.
Yeah.
Three, no good by Bond, rebounded by Webster.
It's only Bond's second miss of the night.
We're going to have a foul on Cambridge. So just under a minute to go as Eibel and Dorsey checking in. Dane Singleton and Josh Hupp out. Webster with it up top, high post to Eibel. Hands it off to Jake Singleton. Over to Eibel. Out to Webster, feeds it in. The Dorsey who finds backside.
Great assist by Dorsey.
Backside pass to Mayo, layup up and good. Sharing the pill.
Yeah.
25-15 Meadowbrook.
That's another area Dorsey's gotten a lot better this year is on that assist.
Bond over to Long, back to Bond. Webster guarding.
10 seconds to go here.
Bond losing it, and
I think it's off Bond. Oh, I think it hit off of his. I thought it hit off the back of his foot there.
Well, we're even now. We thought one was.
Right, yeah. I would say we're even on the calls, yes. Webster almost comes up with that one.
Bond pulls up to end the half.
Webster
No good.
With the rebound.
Webster with the rebound. And we will go into the half with the Colts on top 25-15. We'll thank our sponsors, 821 Carryout, Graham Excavating, the Stemmer family, and the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, RHEA. We'll be back after a few minutes with first half statistics and analysis here on the KGP Network. Welcome back, Meadowbrook High School. Halftime here at the cage. Meadowbrook on top 25-15. Colts led 13-4 at the end of the first quarter. Extended the lead by a point to 25-15 at the half. Looking down at individual scoring. First for the visitors of Cambridge, leading the way for Cambridge, Caleb Bond with 2/3 of their offensive points with 10 of their 15. Davion Jeffrey with 3 points and Jonah Stansberry with 2. On to the Colts, leading the way with also 10 points lead him is Jake Singleton. Romeo Dorsey with 7. Easton Eibel with 6. And Trayvon Mayo with 2 points. So Heath, on to you for team and individual statistics.
Yeah, let's go with the host Colts first. Meadowbrook ended up shooting 10 of 24 from the field, including 4 of 8 from three-point land. On the flip side, Cambridge shot 6 of 18, and they were 0 of 2 from beyond the arc. As far as team statistics, let's go with the host Colts. Had a huge 20-10 edge in rebounding. Of course, many of those coming on the offensive rebound. Real quick, I can look over. I see that Romeo Dorsey had 3 offensive rebounds alone, and Trayvon had 2. So Meadowbrook very active on the offensive glass. But of those 20 leaders for Meadowbrook, you had Drew Webster, Romeo Dorsey, and Jake Singleton, with all 3 with 4, and then you had Josh Hupp with 3. As far as assists, had Meadowbrook with 6 assists. I had 3 guys, Romeo, Josh, and Trayvon, 2 apiece. And then on the flip side, Cambridge, I had, remember, they only hit 2 buckets in the first quarter, and that was Caleb driving to the hole both times. So not a lot of opportunities for assists. The second quarter, they had 4 shots, but Davion had 1 of those assists. So Cambridge only 1 assist at the half. As far as steals go, I have Meadowbrook with 5 steals. I had 5 players with 1 apiece. On the flip side, had Cambridge with 4 team steals. Caleb Bond, the leader tonight for both teams, he has 3. And then I had Pulaski with a block on Cambridge's side. And remember, we had Easton early on in that first with the block for Meadowbrook. As far as turnovers go, I had Meadowbrook with 4 each in the first and the second quarter, so 8 total. And then Cambridge, I had 7 total. So that would be your team statistics, Darren.
And we have some sad news to report as NFL Hall of Fame coach and legendary broadcaster John Madden passed away today. So
Wow. Yeah.
definitely the kids nowadays probably didn't have an opportunity to listen to him as a
One
announcer.
of the greatest
but,
ever.
But I'm sure a lot of them play his game.
Play his game,
routinely.
and then all you got to do is watch Frank Caliendo do a perfect impersonation of him. But yeah, that's sad. I'm sure that the flag, Raider flag, will be at half staff at Tommy Strasser's house. Of course, I'm sure he was a huge John Madden fan. A lot of Raiders fans out there. So yeah, it's a Ron Gambita Raider fan. So sorry to hear about the passing of Mr. Madden. Of course, both of us grew up playing the Madden. So, but yeah, sad day for the NFL.
And we'll just finish this with a boom. So we got a minute and a half.
Funny thing about so we'll go on a story time since we got a minute and a half. So John Madden, for most of you probably know, but if not, this would be interesting. Madden wouldn't fly anywhere. He hated to fly. He had that tour bus that he drove all over the country. And so like John Madden, I myself, I do not like to travel by plane anywhere, train. We flew to Vegas in 19 and used it as a hub just to go out and see the canyon and different things. And I tell you what a nervous wreck. I do not like to fly.
I've never done it personally myself.
You haven't, really? That's shocking. So never have I ever.
Yeah. I usually can win that in the never have I ever games.
Yeah. I'll be darned. I figured you had flown down to the beach maybe to meet up with the Mitchells or something, but it's always by caravan.
Been a drive every
About
time.
37 deep, too, right?
We look
So
like a bunch of clowns packed in,
well,
12 deep in a
I don't think
little
it has
Volkswagen
any.
Bug.
You guys would look like clowns without being packed in. So
That is probably true.
Speaking of the devil, there's a Sean Mitchell shooter standing here talking to one of the Meadowbrook faithful. So yeah, we are speaking of the Mitchell family, we're wrapping up our annual fantasy football. Train and I both fortunate enough to make the playoffs. Me not so much to move on, but Train is moving on to the semis. But yeah, I think we've been a part of that league, the Mitchell brothers, you and I, the 6 of us, the original franchises. I think 20 seasons now.
It's at least 15.
Yeah, almost. I think it was 2000 and let's see. TJ would have been 2002, and I think TJ was about a senior, so or right after. So maybe 18, 19 seasons. But yeah, now we got more important stuff now. Back to the second half.
So Meadowbrook has it. Jake Singleton with it, being guarded by Parsons, and we're going to have a foul on Bond there.
Yeah. Threw Ibo into his own bench.
And then he looks at the official.
Like, what did I do? Yeah.
Basketball is a contact sport, but
hey,
you can't make that contact.
If it was hockey, it was a nice cross check there.
Ibo with it.
As we always say, coming out, Cambridge down 10. First 4 minutes of this third quarter, very important for Cambridge.
Jake up top to Ibo. Ibo looking around. Dribbles it over to Singleton. Pass, all deflected. Dorsey's going to get it. Skips it across to Ibo. Three-pointer, no good. Tipped and kept alive.
Oh, and it's off of his foot.
But it pinballs around and out of bounds, and it's going to be Cambridge basketball.
Singleton did a nice job of keeping it alive.
And how about that, Heath? That's our first team rebound of the night.
That's second. I have another one for Cambridge.
Moore with it. Parson getting the ball screen from Jeffrey. Good help by Webster. Over to Bond.
Singleton up in Bond's drill.
And we're going to have a
little push off. Yep. And
so that's going to be Singleton's second.
Yeah, Jake don't like the call, but yeah, he used his arm there. Give him a little forearm nudge.
Pass stolen by Hupp.
Steal, yes. Tell you what, Hupp's had an active game tonight.
And we're going to have a third foul on Singleton, as he's going to get called for the charge.
Yeah. That's 2 quick ones and 2 big ones, because tell you what, a fourth, it could really change the complexity of this game. Yeah,
rarely does Jake come out of the games, and obviously with 3 fouls, he's staying in. Jeffrey to Parsons, lays it up and in. That's Parsons' first bucket on the night. 25-17.
Cambridge is showing a little bit of trapping here.
Webster up top, gets the ball screen, denies it. He's going to go straight down the lane, lay it up and in. Back up to a 10-point lead.
I believe that's Webster's first bucket of the evening, too.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, not used to not hearing Drew's name a lot.
Vaughn looking to drive, kicks it out to Jeffrey. And that's going to be stolen.
Yeah, Webster poked that away for the steal. And then Parsons stole it right back.
And more. Strong basket up and in. So again, it seems like that's about the 3rd or 4th time that we've had a steal on one side and the other team got it right back. Singleton has it over to Webster. Webster into Dorsey. Dorsey.
A little strong.
Off. Rebounded by Jeffrey. Moore's going to lift a contested 3. No good. Singleton with the board.
Yeah, they're going to get a holding there.
So the foul's going to be on Cole Parsons. It's going to be his first. Up, passes it in. Up top to Eibel. Eibel to a curl cutting. Up, but he doesn't have anything. He's back to Eibel. Now Singleton's lifting the three, and good. And timeout Meadowbrook, and it's going to be a full timeout on that shot. I don't know if Jake looked over, I don't know if Trey's here or not, looked over at his older brother Trey. He passed him as now with 13 points. Jake has passed older brother. So 1,075 career points now for Jake Singleton.
I'll tell you what, there's, as longtime Cambridge statistician Ray Sims would say, all kinds of mad flipping action going on here as the both cheerleading squads showing off their moves across the floor here. So Simsy, if you're listening, it's always good to mention Simsy's name. He was always one of the greatest statisticians I've ever met. So always good at getting you what you needed to cover a game while we were at the Jeff.
And I think he's still doing it at Cambridge. He's directly across from us.
Oh
up in
yeah,
the top
there
row.
he is up top. So he ain't listening, but he goes back and watches this. He'll die laughing.
So we'll thank our sponsors, 821 Carryout, Graham Excavating, the Stemmer family, and Meadowbrook Teachers Union, RHEA. 4:46 to go. Meadowbrook on top, 30-19. Moore looking to drive, kicks it out to Long. Long looking for a teammate. Still looking, passes it in to Jeffrey.
Smart
Shot
by,
no good.
Yeah, it's smart by Jake not to try to contest that. No need to pick up your fourth there.
Singleton got the rebound. Top of the shot fake, kicks it over to Singleton. Driving baseline, passes it out to Webster, gets it over to Eibel. Now Meadowbrook's resetting it. Singleton getting the ball screen from Dorsey. And we're going to have a block on Moore.
That was close.
Moore.
Tell you what, I could have seen that one being called either way. As Moore was falling, Jake just gave him a little bit of forearm there. So
just helping him land a little quicker.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, Jake's not, to me, that doesn't seem like himself offensively tonight, even though he has 12 points. You know, not playing bad as far as scoring, but it just seems just to be off. I don't know if Cambridge's pressure just frustrating him a little bit. But
and that shot rattles around off the glass. Good
nice
baseline drive by
there.
Webster. 32-19, 3:42 to go in the third quarter. Stansberry and Pulaski checking in for the Bobcats. Next dead ball, along with Trayvon Mayo from Meadowbrook. Moore denies the ball screen. Looking for a teammate, passes to Jeffrey. Jeffrey,
yeah,
and it's going to be an offensive foul on Moore.
Little hold there. You know, as I was talking about that on the last trip down with Jake, you know, Moore is a very feisty player too, you know, and we've seen him last year. I think in this game, I think there was a little bit of feistiness, and I think Moore was kind of one of the catalysts behind that. But yeah, you know, he's a tough, gritty player, and sometimes those gritty players can agitate you at times.
Mayo with it. Dribbling over, passes it across to Dorsey, gets it to Webster. And that's going to be a turnover on Meadowbrook.
One of those unforced errors you don't like to see. You look up that clock, Meadowbrook's up 13 with 2:59 to go. So right now in the driver's seat, but you know, as we saw against the New Lex team here, the last home game, Meadowbrook was up 14
There's
late.
a handoff, and it's going to go Meadowbrook way as Bond can't retrieve it.
This is what I was talking to one of Meadowbrook's fans today, is Meadowbrook in this situation. Put your foot on the gas, close it out, and cruise to the win. But we'll see what happens here.
Singleton looking to drive, puts a shot up and good, and he's at the line for one.
I think he wanted to pass it first, and then when nobody cut, he thought, all right, well, I'll just take it myself. So Great move there by Jake.
So 15 now for Jake Singleton,
That's Pulaski's second foul.
as he's now 7 points away from John Molesky Ferguson tying him.
Yeah, all
And
this,
the free throw is good.
all the hooting, hollering, screaming you want isn't going to mess up Jake at the line. He is very Steph Curry-like when he gets to that line. Nice job, Trayvon. I'll tell you what, Trayvon has had a nice game tonight coming in off the bench. He's played well. So let's give some quality minutes to the Colts tonight.
35-19. Cambridge basketball. Stansberry driving middle, going to draw the foul. Going to have 2 shots here.
I'll call that on Dorsey. I believe that's his second.
Yeah, that'll be Dorsey's second.
We'll put Stansberry at the line for 2. Stansberry's second and third free throws at the line tonight. Now he's 0 of 2. Hupp and Dorsey going to the bench, and Eibel and Dane Singleton checking back in. There, Stansberry splits the pair.
So gets that one to fall, cuts it to 35-20 as Meadowbrook or Cambridge playing some full
yeah,
court
and that
pressure.
stopped the 8-0 run by Meadowbrook.
Mayo over to Webster. Tybel. Over to Mayo up top. Hands it off to Webster. Good cutoff from Jeffrey as Mayo's going to take baseline. He's going to draw the foul.
Nice take.
Could be a host of Bobcats. They're going to get Parsons with the foul. His second.
Parsons second.
35-20. Trayvon's first free throw off. And his second free throw is good. So Bond walking it up over to Parsons. Pulaski up top, over to Stansberry. Stansberry inside to Parsons. Up top to Bond, looking to drive down the middle. Good cutoff, finds Jeffrey, corner 3. Up and good. It's a good ball movement by the Cats. Cuts it to a 13-point game with 1:20 and counting. And Jake with a runner inside the free throw line, rattles around and bounce the glass and down. Bond with it up top, being guarded by Webster. Bond looking to drive baseline, doesn't have it, finds backside layup, good from Cole Parsons. Bond with the assist. That's back-to-back assist, I believe, by Bond.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, Webster did a nice
Deflected
job
there by Jeffrey with the steal. And he's going to drive baseline, lay it up, no good. Webster with the board. Tough break there for the Cats.
I think Meadowbrook's going to play for 1 here. With about half a minute to go.
Webster with it. Over to Eibel. Stansberry really getting after it on and walking the tightrope of Singleton there on that sideline. And we're going to have a carry.
That's Meadowbrook's 4th turnover of this quarter, so the first 3 quarters, 4 apiece, so that's 12 now for Meadowbrook.
So 6
if Cambridge can capitalize.
Jeffrey's shot no good. So Meadowbrook scores the Bobcats 13-10 in the third quarter to extend their lead to 38-25. As we head to the fourth quarter, we'll be back here on the KGP Network with fourth quarter action. Welcome back, Meadowbrook High School. Colts on top 35-28 heading to the fourth quarter. Thank our sponsors, 821 Carryout, Graham Excavating, the Stemmer family, and the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, the RHEA. So it's going to be Cambridge basketball as we head into these final 8 minutes. Taking a little time to get everybody organized here. Moore with it. Up top to Parson. Being doubled. And pass and stolen.
Yes. Nice job of jumping that pass.
And Dorsey's going to go up. No good. I think a rebound was by Stansberry.
Yeah.
There's a shot up, no good by Moore, but there's going to be a foul. Or no,
Bond,
Bond.
yeah.
There's going to be a foul on Webster's. He got him on the arm going up.
I believe that's Drew's second.
Yep, that'll be 2 on Drew.
That's Bond's first point of the second half here after a very active first half. So Meadowbrook did a nice job of keeping him at bay there in the third quarter.
So Dane Singleton in for Romeo Dorsey here.
Yeah, and Coach Jarrett giving Dorsey a little bit of a chewing as far as how to use that glass.
And Singleton, reverse layup and good.
Nice reverse. I'll tell you what, ever since I said Singleton was kind of quiet now, I think he's rattled off about 7 points. So.
And he's a guarantee for at least 20, it seems like, every game, and he has 20.
Yeah, it's crazy how you just sometimes you look down and you're like, yeah, he's ho-hum night for him. Then at the end of the night, he has his 20 points. He's that good of a scorer.
Moore with it up top. Stansberry retrieves it, gets it out to Bond. Bond using the ball screen, driving, pulling up, a little runner inside the free throw line, gets the bounce off the back iron and down.
Glass kind.
40-29. Jake driving, scoop, layup, and good. And that is officially tied John Molesky Ferguson.
Yeah, Jake has been very aggressive, taking it to the bucket. It's back-to-back times, taking it down to the 10.
And Moore shot no good, but Parsons is there to clean it up. So Parsons with 6 all coming here in the second half. Jake out the hop, 3, rattles around and out. That's rebounded by Bond.
And I tell you what, from up here, that looked good the whole way.
Going to be Webster's third.
I think they're going to check Dorsey in for Dane now.
So team fouls. Meadowbrook has 5 team fouls here in the second half. Cambridge has 6. So
and again, there's 6 minutes to go and still only 11-point lead. So it's still got a long way to go.
Moore with it, top of the key, looking around, passes it over to Bond. Bond calling for the screen, nobody goes. Now he's looking to drive. Attacking middle, kicks it out to Moore. Moore's going to lift the 3, short. Dorsey with the board.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get Pulaski with little elbow to the face, so incidental, but.
So Singleton at the line, 1-1.
The ref getting on him a little bit. Pulaski and Singleton talking a little bit there. Incidental or not, nobody likes to take an elbow to the jaw. Nobody.
So with that free throw, he passed
can't say
John
you blame
Ferguson.
Yeah. Can't say you blame Jake here on that one.
And he knocks down the second for a quiet 24.
Yeah, John Real. There's a steal, now a quiet 26. All of a sudden, it's not so quiet.
So we're going to have a timeout. Cambridge, 46-31, 5:24 to go in the game.
I'm getting some kind messages from
our fans,
our fan
listening
club,
at home.
our fan club out there that has VIP passes.
So 46-31 Meadowbrook, 5:24 left in the game. Timeout situation. Meadowbrook has 3 left. Cambridge has 2. Fouls. Meadowbrook has 1 foul to give, while every foul from here on out, Meadowbrook is in the bonus. So it's going to be Cambridge basketball. I feel we have the longest full timeout in history as the Cambridge student section. Fired up for the JV game, still fired up here for the varsity game.
Little banner with our longtime buddy TJ Mitchell. Sending us in some useful knowledge
words
for the
of
game.
wisdom.
Yeah, words of wisdom for the game. So,
and nobody has more wisdom than TJ Mitchell.
Yeah, AKA Tito.
Jeffrey with it, passes it over to Moore, gets it to Bond. Getting trapped here, almost loses it. Now we got 3 guys trapping him, and Webster's going to come down with the steal.
Meadowbrook's ramped up that pressure here this quarter. And Coach Jarrett calling for basic.
So they're spacing it out here, looking to run some clock.
Yep, 15. No reason to force the issue here. Make Cambridge gamble a little bit, maybe get to that line.
Meadowbrook taking their time. It's something a little different than what they've done in the past couple of years.
Right.
They
still
they
keep
rarely
trying
would,
to try to pile it on.
Singleton step back 3, no good. Moore with the rebound. Jeffrey losing it, gets control, finds Moore. 3, no good. Singleton with the board.
Yeah, and for the night, Cambridge only has 1 3, and that was Jeffries there in the third.
Up, can't get the shot to fall. Dorsey's going to get the rebound. He's going to be at the line.
I think they called that on Parsons. Yeah, his third.
Foul number 3 on, that's good, they called on Jeffrey, his third.
Oh yeah, they changed, yeah, okay.
And Dorsey gets the first free throw to fall. And second free throw rattles around and out as Jeffrey gets to the board. He kicks it ahead to Campbell. 3 up and good. So Cambridge is going to start making those 3-point baskets if they want to get back in this game. 47-34, 3:37 and counting.
Yeah, especially if Meadowbrook's going to come back out and just milk this clock.
Stop being guarded by Moore. Quarterback on quarterback. Singleton and Mayo kind of fighting for it there as Mayo gets it.
Yeah, a little miscommunication.
Passes it to Singleton. Gives it to Dorsey inside.
Nice
Layup
job
is
by
good.
Singleton.
And we're going to have a full timeout here from the Colts. So we'll thank our sponsors, 821 Carryout, Graham Excavating, the Stemmer family, and Meadowbrook Teachers Union, the RHEA. And since they're on timeout, we'll take a quick timeout too here on the KGP Network. We're back here at Meadowbrook High School. The Colts on top, 49-34. Cambridge basketball, 3:08 to go. Inbounds pass to Bond, being guarded by Mayo. Gets it over to Moore. Moore dribbles across the timeline. Back to Bond. Bond looking to drive. Loses control of it. Dorsey's going to come down with the steal. It's now Meadowbrook going to be patient here on offense again. Work the clock if Singleton gets a ball screen. Kicks it out top to Mayo. And we're going to have a foul here. I believe it's going to be on Caleb Campbell. So that's going to be his first.
Yeah, trying to fight through the screen.
So Webster's going to be at the line shooting the 1-and-1. And this is the last 1-and-1. Meadowbrook will be in double bonus the next foul. 2:32 to go, up 49-34. First shot, no good, but good hustle from Webster. Going to grab his own rebound as Dorsey goes
What
to work
a nice
inside.
move, yeah.
51-34.
And I tell you what, when Dorsey slows down and lets the game come to him, that's when he is absolutely deadly inside. And I think that's what Coach Jarrett was just trying to get inside his head there a few minutes ago to slow down just a bit.
Bond with a little spin move, little 3-foot runner up and in. Under
Smart,
2 to go.
yeah, smart by Trayvon to not try to get a bucket. There is no need. You're up 15 with 1:49. Just salt this one away.
So Meadowbrook milking it here. Mayo back with it. Gets it over to Hupp. No count, so he passes it over to Webster. There's a counts dribble. Webster's down the lane, passes it off to Dorsey. Layup it in. So that's a second straight Webster to Dorsey lay-in here late as the Colts have extended the lead to 17, 53-36. Moore driving, and he's going to be called with the travel. With 54.9 left in the game.
A pretty frustrating night for Moore with 2 points. Not usual out of him, but that's a nice steal. That was Davey on that forced that steal there.
Yeah, Dorsey kind of tried threading the needle.
And
then
Jake gets it back. Just like you said, yeah. It's happened all night. that has to at least be the 6th or 7th time that that's happened tonight.
So under 30 to go. Singleton dribbling around, being guarded by Campbell, over to Mayo, being guarded by Caden Moore. Hands it off to Webster, but we got 15 seconds and counting. He'll hand it off to Mayo.
Never heard that chant. Meadowbrook student section. Of course, they're just like football, but giving us a just like golf there, so that's a new one.
Hey, all sports matter.
Hey, that's
as
right.
The Meadowbrook Colts come away victorious with a 53-36 victory over the Bobcats. We'll be back after a quick break with final game statistics and analysis here on the KGP Network. Welcome back to Meadowbrook High School. The Colts victorious 53-36 over the Bobcats. Meadowbrook came out the first 8 minutes with a 13-4 lead after the first quarter, extended it to 25-15 at the half. Added on to that lead to grab a 38-25 lead in the third, and then outscored the Bobcats 15-11 in the final frame to take the final score of 53-36. We'll thank our sponsors, 821 Carryout, Graham Excavating, Stemmer Family, and the Meadowbrook Teachers Union, RHEA. Now we'll look at scoring. For the visiting Bobcats, led by Caleb Bond with 16 points. Davion Jeffrey and Cole Parsons with 6 points each. With 3 points each, Caleb Campbell and Jonah Stansberry. And Caden Moore with 2 points. Looking over at the Colts, leading the way is Jake Singleton, who moved up 2 spots on the all-time scoring list, passing older brother Trey Singleton and John Molesky Ferguson. So he's now 6th all-time in the scoring in Meadowbrook history, and he is now 59 points away from Chris Wright. So he's going to probably have to wait at least 2, maybe 3 games on that one based on his scoring averages. Looking at scoring, he had the 26, like we said. Romeo Dorsey had 14 points. Easton Eibel had 6. Drew Webster finished with 4. And Travion Mail had 3 for the Colts. So Heath, let's hear it for the team and individual statistics.
Okay, let's start shooting for Meadowbrook. They were 21 of 41 from the field. So again, we keep talking about how they continue shooting 50% or better than each game. Again, another sizzling night. Even though they started 5 of 13 that first quarter, they really heated up the final 3 frames. So again, 21 of 41 from the field. They ended up 5 of 11 from downtown. On the flip side, Cambridge was 14 of 33 from the field, ended up 2 of 8 from beyond the arc. As far as statistics go, Meadowbrook ended up winning the battle of the boards 27-17. Leader for Meadowbrook, Jake Singleton. I'll tell you what, one of the best rebounding guards I've seen for his size. He's just always active around that glass, but he had 7. And then Dorsey and Webster both with 6 apiece. So good job both by those gentlemen. On the flip side, Cambridge's leader, hey, Davion Jeffrey, he did a nice job for Cambridge tonight in a losing effort. He had 7 rebounds to lead the Cats. As far as assists, Meadowbrook ended up with 10 assists, multiple players with 2 apiece. Drew, Romeo, Josh Hupp, and Trayvon each with 2 apiece. And then on the flip side, Cambridge ended up with 5. Davion and Caleb Bond each with 2. As far as steals, Meadowbrook very active tonight, getting out in the passing lanes, forcing some pressure, ended up with 11 steals. Jake Singleton led Meadowbrook with 4. And on the Cambridge side of things, Caleb Bond had 3 and Davion Jeffries had 2. And then blocks, both teams again with 1 block apiece. You had Levin Pulaski with 1 for the Cats, and then Easton Eibel had 1 for Meadowbrook. As far as turnovers go, Meadowbrook ended up with 13 on the game, and Cambridge ended up with 16. So there are your team statistics. Train. Let's talk about the game a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously coming in, we knew this was a big rivalry game, and what's really some key points that stands out to you?
Well, you know, one of the biggest things is you look at how Meadowbrook started the game. You know Cambridge was going to come in here hungry. They want to beat Meadowbrook, a team that's had their numbers the last several years, especially coming off last year being swept 3-0. You know, Cambridge is going to come in here hot. Meadowbrook, I felt like they really set the tone early with that 10-2 start on the back of 2 triples by Easton Eibel. I thought that was a good start by Meadowbrook. However, you know, in that second quarter, you look at how Cambridge opened up the second frame. Started with a 6-0 run, and then they started making things a little bit interesting there. You know, Meadowbrook ended up, you know, going to the half with a 10-point lead at 25-15. But then you look at what happened there. I don't know, probably the middle portion. Meadowbrook hits a triple, calls a timeout at 4:46 mark, and then they scored the next 6 points. You know, they go on an 8-0 run, or next 5 points. Sorry, they go on an 8-0 run, and 6 of those by Jake. After that 8-0 run, I kind of felt like, you know, it was Meadowbrook's game to lose there, Train. So I kind of felt like just, you know, a couple different turning points of the game there. But, you know, I thought Meadowbrook did a lot of nice things tonight.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, it comes down to just really when you have a player the caliber of Jake Singleton on your team, that when you need a bucket, you can go to him, and 9 times out of 10, he's going to convert. That's just such a luxury that not every team in high school basketball has. And obviously, 26 points.
Yeah.
I think just below his average. I think he's averaging around 27, or he's averaging just over 25, so he's above his average. When you know you're going to get that game in, game out, I don't think he has scored less than 20 in any of his games this year.
Meadowbrook's going to be hard to beat when he's doing that. You expect it. But when you have a guy like Dorsey step up and have, 14 for the game? Nice ball game by Dorsey. And you look at Webster. Webster was kind of quiet with only 4 points. Usually Webster's up there around double digits. But, when you have the secondary pieces of Meadowbrook, when Dorsey's stepping up, and if he can give you 12 to 15, and you get Ivel hitting some threes like the way they did. And again, I really was impressed with Trayvon. I think that was probably Trayvon's best game that I've ever seen him play down here. And that's a testament to his hard work, because you want to start. So I tell you what, I thought he did a nice job. Maybe not in when you look at the scoring column. Maybe not so much with just 3 points, but I tell you what, he had a couple of big offensive rebounds, a couple assists, a steal. So, you look at Meadowbrook, they start getting those additions, from those other players. It's going to make them even harder to beat as we get down the stretch. But on the flip side, you got to look at the game in a losing effort. Man, Caleb Bond, he's a good ball player.
Yeah, obviously it's his third year as a varsity player, and kind of has waited his turn, so to speak, to be that top gun, as they had Quirk as their big gun last year, and now he's kind of taken over as the number one option. And obviously you saw him as a freshman in JV, and you knew that this kid had a bright future, and obviously he's going to continue to develop and be a key clog for Cambridge. And if you're a Cambridge fan, I think the exciting thing is Levin Pulaski I haven't seen him play this year, so I'm assuming he might have got hurt football season. He's finally been cleared. I think he's going to be a big difference maker. He provides a lot of size.
Yeah, a couple of rebounds and a block in the first quarter. It got a little bit of foul trouble there. I had to go to the bench. But I tell you what, I think you're right, Train. He can provide. But, when you look at the two teams, I think that's been the huge difference the last couple of years. Meadowbrook has had 2, 3, 4 players that's been able to score and do things. And when you're a team that operates on just one score, Cambridge, of course, I don't think we saw Caden Moore's best game tonight. Caden's a pretty scrappy, good ball player. But, I think that's what Cambridge is faced with this season. Who is going to be that second guy for them to step up? And I think Davion showed some things tonight where, hey, maybe he's that guy they start looking to a little bit. But, I think for Cambridge, if they're going to, make some noise come tournament time and be a tough out, they're going to have to find that second scorer.
Obviously Davion stepped up. Cole Parsons has been a marksman at times from the perimeter.
Yeah, Cole had 6. So.
Those two, and then, of course, like you said, Caden Moore is always going to be deadly. He's averaging around 9 his last 4 games, so he had a little rough night tonight. But
down in the Buckeye 8, Cambridge is going to compete. You know that.
Yeah.
That's not to take anything away from that league, of course, but, Cambridge can compete in the Buckeye 8. For me, I told somebody today, I really wish they would have been in the MVL. I just think it would have been a nice fit. But, hey, sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to work out. But, it is nice that these two schools still get the opportunity to play after being rivals for, 50, 60 years and 50 years. I'm trying to think back in the late 60s.
A lot of years.
A lot of years. They didn't teach me very good math down here at Meadowbrook, or maybe they tried and I just didn't pay attention. But, hey, it's a fun rivalry. And it's still there. The student sections still want to have bragging rights. But these kids, let's face it, they're playing video games across the county with each other. They all play AAU sports with each other. They hang out at the pools together. It's not the same when we were kids. Hey, you're up at your part of the neck of the woods, and we stayed down here and hung out at Village Pizza. It ain't the same as what it used to be. And you work with people, and you go to church with the families and things. It's just a different atmosphere. But I tell you what, the rivalry is still there, and it's still a fun rivalry.
So that's going to do it for here tonight. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah.
So
thanks for listening tonight.
It's going to be our last live stream till 2022 as as we stated.
Another year listening to us.
Meadowbrook's off till January 7th when they, or excuse me, they're off till January 4th. They play at Coshocton, but on the 7th, they host the Crooksville Ceramics.
Do we have who Cambridge is playing next?
Cambridge, Thursday in the Catfish Challenge, hosting the John Glenn Muskies. So they got one more game before the end of 2021, and it should be a fun day Thursday for people who want to go out and watch a full day of basketball in the Catfish Challenge. So as for, we had a boatload of people who showed up. We had Carson Todd and Brittany Rowe here snapping pictures. Caden Whaley running the camera for us.
Yeah, and we got to give Caden credit. He did not cut us off tonight, so he is maybe going to get promoted to a senior technician on the KGP staff. So good job by Caden tonight.
Caleb might give him a KGP sticker.
Yeah, give him something good, Caleb, if you're listening.
So that's going to do it tonight. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. Signing off, final score, Meadowbrook 53, Cambridge 36. Good night.